Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the MCRL Racing Network. We are here with the Grand National Tour, the lowest MCRL division. And today I am joined with Mr. Bill Martin once again. Welcome back to the booth.
Thank you very much, Nate. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, I'm ready to see some great racing down in the South U.S.
Yeah, it's going to be a great track. If you've never been to this track, well, the track is no longer there, but it was such a great track. It was really fast. The ASA really kind of built their bones at this track in Florida, and it's so sad to see it go.
Yeah, and even though this track isn't there in real life anymore, we got it here in iRacing. We got the virtual version. You know, they were lucky enough to get that scan in, and we're ready to race these ARCA cars around, this 0.61 mile track here tonight.
It's going to be a fun one. I was out there practicing earlier today. The track is fast. It's a little slick. My car worked pretty well if you went down low in the corners. The high line really hasn't come in at all during the practice, and it's going to be interesting to see if that high line comes in later on in the race.
Yeah, and we're coming after last week's race here at Charlotte. You know, we saw some great racing pretty much throughout the race. Here's it's going to be a little bit of a different track. You know, it's a shorter track. We're here. Oh, someone's spinning out. But we're here at a short track. These the lines here, it's going to be a little bit different. You're probably going to see most of the cars running the bottom here, and using the bumpers here. So it'll be interesting.
I was running pretty well. I was in the top 5 for a while as far as cars and speed on the track. That number 48 car, we need to watch him tonight because he's fast. Very fast car, and it's going to be interesting to watch him.
He is very fast, and he actually is the points leader at the moment. That is going to be Mr. Zach Johnson. We'll look at him as he's going into the wall. We might give him a little interview here in a second and talk to him, see how he's feeling. He came back from a spin, midway through the race last week and was able to march his way back up to a second place finish, and that was good enough to get him that points lead with the laps led as well.
Yeah, Zach was really fast today again, and he's going to be tough throughout the entire series. He's always fast. He's always up front. And it doesn't matter what we drive, whether it's the trucks or Xfinity or Cup cars. You seem to always mention Zach Johnson.
Yeah, he is one of those Cup drivers, as I am myself, but instead we see him down in this series running. And, he's doing the Zach Johnson, as we call it, as our virtual bushwhacking.
Yeah, definitely. And you can't help it. I mean, as you see the 30 do a pirouette there. I mean, yeah, and it's so fun. And I'm glad to see him in a series like this, even though he's like the head guy to beat. It gives all these other younger drivers and the drivers that are just starting, they're going to go after him. They're going to watch his line. So he's going to teach them how to race, whether they want to or not. Because if they don't learn, they're not going to win.
That is true. That is very true. He is atop the board at the moment with a 21:24. As we're going through the times here at the top of the screen, you see Gordon Fraley, Jeremy Tebon in third. But let's go ahead and give Mr. Johnson a call up to the booth and see how he's feeling about tonight's event. Hey there, Mr. Johnson. Is the boys up in the booth? You got a copy?
I do.
All right. You finished P2 last week at Charlotte. You're ahead of the points right now. How are you feeling about USA tonight?
Pretty good. This is one of my favorite tracks on the service to race at. So it's definitely a weird combo, the ARCA car. I've never done it before, but I mean, you can see I'm fast, so hopefully I can just stay up front and not get involved in any of the chaos that's going to happen in the middle of the pack.
Well, I'll tell you what, Zach, I was in front of you in the High Rock Vodka car earlier, and I was running some pretty good laps, and you came up on me, and you ended up driving right underneath me like I was standing still. Well, what makes the difference between you and me driving that you're that much faster with the exact same car?
It's a mixture of things. It's getting on the brakes nice and smooth in the corner. It's not about being the last one on the brakes, but it's about carrying as much speed as you can through the corner and really trusting the car on throttle. You can actually pick up the throttle a lot sooner than you would think you would with racing these ARCA cars. They tend to snap loose when you're on throttle too soon. But here on the bottom, they stick pretty good middle exit. So just trusting the car is going to stay straight and having the ability to save it and trust it if it snaps loose on you that you can save it.
Well, you're going to have to give me lessons one of these days. So good luck tonight, buddy. You know, you're running up front. You got one of the fastest times out there, so good luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Let me get a move back down. There we go. It's always a little bit of a hassle dragging the drivers back down in their channels.
And I just want to say, if you look up there in 7th place, the 75 Martin car, that would be me. My speed still stands at 7th strongest, so I feel pretty good.
Oh yeah. We got Haden Higginbotham out in the field once again. We see the Micheal Racing cars. We saw one of their cars go to victory lane last week. That was Ryan Persinger, who is back in the field.
Yeah, that's right, with the new name, the Team Missiles. And these guys, we were laughing about these guys in their new paint scheme in the garage earlier today, and they're going to be tough to beat as well. Mr. Johnson has his hands full with those guys.
Oh yeah, and we do have him actually in the server now. We got a new channel made for him, so let's see if we can drag him up real quick. Oh, maybe I cannot drag him from there. That's interesting. Maybe not. For some reason I don't have the permissions to drag him from one of those channels. That's interesting. But hopefully if he ends up podium, we'll be able to interview him once again. But that was interesting. We got Mr. Ryan Taft out here running P5 on the board right now, the 2141.
Yeah, Mr. Taft in the Pennzoil car tonight, which brings back memories from way back with Steve Parks driving that car for a little while, and so many great drivers over the year ran that paint scheme.
Oh yeah, that is a very iconic scheme. And it's just the flat yellow too, which I feel like a lot of people kind of forget about compared to the other, you know, Pennzoil schemes that have been run recently, especially with the Harvick and the Logano cars, you know?
Yeah, and then in front of him, of course, is the iconic Valvoline Mark Martin car.
And Mr. Robert Fraley. As I believe he was trying to go to pit road there and he kind of missed the entrance. Possibly. We got some other cars out here. We got Thomas Villano rocking the Yahoo car. We see Joe T. Wright in the 37 Krispy Kreme.
Being former law enforcement, that Krispy Kreme car is one of my favorites.
Yeah, and then in the Cup Series, we see him run the opposite version of this car. He runs the black colorway compared to the white.
Yeah, and he's having trouble. Looks like to me when he was entering corner, he's loose on entry. That back end was coming out. Looked like he maybe have his brake bias a little bit too far forward, or maybe he's just driving in too deep, and you saw the back of that car just come right around on him.
Yeah, let's try to get it on board with Zach Johnson here real quick and just see what it's like driving around this track.
You see Zach staying way down low.
Yeah, just way down low. That's kind of where you get a lot of the momentum here at these type of tracks, you know. You don't really want to use a lot of that banking, especially with the line just being mainly the fast line, you know, around that bottom part. Something that I'm interested about for this race is the almost gateway wall on the backstretch here with the opening. I'm always interested to see if a car will end up in that wall, you know. So we'll see.
Yeah, it seems to happen every time you come here for a race. Somebody gets a little squirrely just like that, and somebody comes out and puts them right into that little gated section.
Yeah, and this just gives you a point of view, kind of, you know, what these drivers are looking at throughout the, throughout the race through their windshields. It's just how close everything is, you know. These guys are pretty much within a ruler of each other, you know. It's not that much space.
No, it isn't. And man, this is a tease, man. This makes me want to get back out on the track and go racing.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good lapping around the track. See him getting in the wall a little bit, but with these tracks, you really want to use as much as the track as possible to get as much speed as possible. You know, it's not a big track, so you just want to try to get as fast as possible. You know, most miles per hour that you can get, and run it into that corner, get it slowed, and then do the same thing on the opposite side of the track.
He's just letting that momentum of that car keep him just flowing right through that corner, and he's nice and smooth off the corners, and you can hear he's not spinning the tires like a lot of guys are.
Yeah, and this makes me wonder if he's practicing for a long run here. You know, a lot of these guys probably assuming it's going to be a little bit of a short run here, but this short track doesn't really race like other short tracks, to be honest. You get a little bit more spaced out here. Yeah, it's a short track, but it is on the bigger side of these short tracks. You know, it's kind of like a Phoenix, but it's more traditional. You know, what we're accustomed to, and it definitely allows a little bit of space to be had during the race, and it allows for that long run green flag. And if we see that tonight, Mr. Johnson might be one to look out for.
He is definitely going to be one to look out for no matter what. And another thing about these cars here at this track is, unlike the bigger tracks where you don't notice as much, on a shorter track like this, these cars push like a dump truck. They're old school. That front end just wants to wash right up to the wall. So it's going to be who's going to be able to keep the momentum through the corners, who's going to be able to keep the best line, who's going to keep the tightest line. That's what we're going to be able to watch tonight, and we're going to have plenty of yellows, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, it's a short track, so I'm not saying anything, you know, not saying that we will get a green flag run, but we're hoping for one for sure. But it is a short track, so anything is possible. But we got about 5 minutes left in the practice session before we go to qualifying. We see the guys still getting...
Oh, 2 cars in a row right there.
We still see them all getting their tires warmed in.
Yep, that's what Zach was talking about.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be the same set of rules, except for this week we should have 2 qualifying laps instead of 1. So it should be a fast repair and 2 tire sets, one already on the car, and then one, you know, that you can change. And then we should have a midway break as well, a competition caution. And yeah.
So now we have the competition caution. I think a lot of guys are going to be planning their strategy around that, and if you can make it all the way to that, that's a great time under caution to get those new tires on there and go out and start the race all over again.
And that's honestly where I assume most of these guys will take their tires. There is the off chance, you know, that someone thinks that they've saved enough tires throughout that point in the race. You know, maybe there's enough cautions where you're not pushing enough to be, you know, wearing out your tires. Maybe you can run it a little longer. It is only 125 laps here, and that's going to be pretty quick. And you know, we're looking at pretty long fuel runs as well with these cars. So we'll see kind of what their strategies are tonight compared to what it was last week with you know, a bigger track. It's always interesting coming to a short track.
Now this track here it is possible to do this without pitting. It is possible to make this race. But how competitive are you going to be with tires with 130 laps on them?
That is true. It is kind of just, you know, a gamble to stay out on those tires. You know, you can... I believe with these tires you can save enough if you're not pushing enough, but you would really have to not be pushing at all, really, and probably falling off pace in order to save enough tire. But we'll see here. It'll be interesting.
And of course, the other factor is cautions. Oh, you see the number 6 car get on it just a little bit too early. It's Thomas Filano, the Yahoo car. There's Papa Mott.
But yes, so I am looking at the session info here, and it does say it is 2-lap qualifying, and the competition caution tonight will be at the end of lap 60. And it is the same sets of tires as last week, so 2 sets of tire, 1 extra set, and then 1 fast repair as well. And then these guys are still on fixed setups, so it is kind of interesting. At the beginning of the run, they kind of will be rev limiting right before they get into the corners, so that'll be interesting to see if anybody
hang on, Gordon.
gets hot engine temperatures, you know. as we see Gordon go for a spin.
Gordon from Florida in the Hooters car, and I've actually been to the original Hooters on Route 19 in Clearwater Beach, Florida. So it's good to see a fellow Florida guy toting the Hooters. As he Papa Mott also having trouble coming off the corner.
You see Thomas Villano trying to work the high line here, maybe. He is 7th fastest in the session so far. You know, these guys might be testing out different lines here to see what they can do. Lap traffic will probably be bigger of an impact than in this race than last week, you know, especially with how small the track is. It comes up faster, and working a different line might be the key to passing these guys. So we'll see how they get around this lap traffic as well, as we got about 1.5 minutes left in practice.
Well, we have traffic, and it's easy to catch people, but it's not easy to get past people. That's one thing about some of these front runners that they're going to have to worry about. They're running a half a second faster than the cars starting at the end of the pack, and they're going to catch them pretty quick.
That is true, and we see oh, someone on the wall there was on the outside. We saw Nate Cadet, as Corey Mott would say. We're going to keep that tradition going. We know it's not how you pronounce his last name, but we're just going to call him Mr. Cadet.
I wasn't going to touch that one.
But yeah, as you see, this is Zach Johnson still on top of the board as he gets demolished by Julia on the driver's side.
Wow, yeah. Well, that happens here at the short track, and you know, I think one of the big factors is going to be who's going to save that fast repair.
Exactly. You know, with short tracks, cautions are pretty much imminent. So it's kind of, if you don't get too much damage, hey, keep it going, save that fast repair, keep those tires, and keep it going. And you should be able to keep your speed, honestly. You would have to get a lot of damage to lose a lot of speed here. So, saving that fast repair for the very end of the race is probably pretty essential, especially if there is one of those big pileups later on.
A big pileup here?
It's possible.
Yeah, as you see, the Ryan Taft you can see that Ryan Taft in that picture. You can see all the other tracks people were spinning out right there. He's not the only one having trouble coming off the corners. We saw Papa Mott go around, and we saw quite a few other guys just doing the same thing.
Yeah, so this is Gabriel Karinen out on the track. He said that was his pronunciation for his name. Thomas Villano, we're going through all the drivers here. Gordon Fraley out on track. We got a lot of return drivers from last week, and it's nice to see a few of these guys. You know, they're interested in the series for sure, and hopefully they'll stay around.
Well, I'm hoping this series grows because it's a great series, and I was hoping to race tonight. I just couldn't do it, and I'd love to see a good 20-25 cars come out here every week because this is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun with these cars. And
we got a Twitch Prime subscription from Team Thunder 1234. Thank you for that subscription. Thank you for joining the MCRL network, and hopefully you enjoy your stay. As we see the guys putting down their laps at the moment. As for some reason it's not putting up the times, but Thomas Villano right now is running. Oh, there we go. Thomas Villano.
There we go. Ooh, 21-27. Ooh, he bumped out Zach Johnson. Oh boy, that's look at the difference in speed in the top 5. Wow. Can't get much closer than that.
It is a very close top 5, and look at Haden Higginbotham going to the top with the 21.19. Almost almost a whole tenth faster. Sorry, I almost said 2/10. But a whole tenth faster. That's some speed.
Ooh, Mr. Fraley, he's having a tough time. This Papa Mott out there, he's coming through the corner a little bit high. Is he on his warm-up lap, or is he? He had no flags waving.
I believe that was his second lap, or maybe he was just riding around. But he goes P11. See Fraley going back out there. But yeah, we see a lot of speed out of these top 5. I would say honestly, all under that 21.4 range, and that's a pretty fast lap here. 21.19 is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a fast lap. My fastest lap today was a 21.5, and I was I was very proud of that. That would have gotten me in what about just right around the top 10.
Right there at the end, we saw Nate Cadet sit down a P5 lap with a 21.35. I believe he's coming around for his second lap here.
He's doing everything he can to improve. Boy, he had that car sideways.
Did not improve on his time, so he stays P5. But once again, yeah, the top 6 now is pretty much under a blanket of times within 2/10 pretty much.
Yeah, so, that's unbelievable.
Some fast guys out there tonight.
Yeah, and the whole field itself is qualified all within a little over a half a second, the entire field.
Let's see if it'll show the grid for me here. Oh, it's not gonna let it. Oh, maybe I have to start gridding. I don't know what.
I'm having trouble with my app that brings up everybody as well.
I know they aren't loaded right now, so maybe that's it. We're waiting for him to get out on the track here. This session is finishing. Still no one out on the track. But yeah, so last week we saw a pretty interesting race at Charlotte. It was a night race. Here we're going to a short track in Florida for a day race. What do you think the difference is going to be? Obviously, other than the track difference, but the nighttime racing compared to the daytime racing here.
Well, being a smaller track, you'd think that the weather in the nightfall would affect it a little bit more. So we're going to have to watch to see that. The track temperatures will stay hotter because it is a smaller track. It doesn't have that much time to cool off. But I think once the track cools off, it's going to get more grip. And I think a higher line is going to start to work a little bit more than the bottom line. So it's going to be interesting to see. We're going to have to just keep an eye on that and see what happens when the night falls. And I'll tell you what, we got somebody, we got Haden getting some love in the comments section. I don't know if you saw that.
He does. Monster Laugh. He's in the chat himself, actually.
Here we go.
And,
so here we go. Here's the race. Why don't you start us off with the positions?
Yeah, I got you. Let me get into the right camera. What is it? Far chase or sorry, rear chase. So we got Mr. Haden Higginbotham in P1 with Thomas Filano starting on his outside.
And we have our points leader, Zach Johnson, starting third, and Gordon Fraley starting fourth.
Not loaded into the track yet is going to be Nate Cadet. Starting on his outside is going to be Ryan Persinger, as it wants to change my camera.
And from Circuit Motorsports Club, you got Jeremy Tebon and Micheal Woolf.
And then starting P9 is going to be Gabriel Karinen. And we also got Ryan Taft on his outside rounding out our top 10.
And starting the last row from New York, Mac. I think he made fun of me last time. How will we pronounce his name? Fabini?
I believe it is Fabini.
Fabini. All right, I'm going to go with that. And the man starting in the back of the pack, the tail that wags the dog, is Joe Wright. He'll be starting in 12th spot.
There actually is a few more rows. I don't know why it doesn't.
Yeah. Wait a minute. That's only
for it, but it doesn't want to for some reason. But we have Jim Mott in 13th, Bob Baker in 14th, Robert Fraley 15th, Joe Gibbons in 16th, Julia Comic in 17th, and that is the field. So we're just waiting on Mr. Fraley to connect. We see Joe Gibbons in the Dale Earnhardt Jr. scheme once again.
Yes, I'm not surprised to see that. I think he really enjoys running that scheme, and you can't blame him. It's a classic, iconic scheme.
That is true.
I mean, everybody who runs a scheme out here has a classic. I mean, this was the heyday of NASCAR with these cars.
And I believe Robert Fraley did not join the grid, so if he does end up starting, he will start from the pits, as well as Nate Cadet. So we got 125 laps at USA International. How are you feeling for this race tonight, Mr. Bill?
I'm excited, especially after last week. They gave us a banger last week. They came out and they fought to the end, and that was a really great race to watch. And I'm excited for this one because I think this one's going to be a lot of fun too, especially with those top 6 cars.
Yeah, that top 6 was pretty close within each other's times, so it should be a pretty close race for these guys. It is a decent long race. I wouldn't say it's, the longest race ever, but 125 laps, that's enough time, to get yourself sorted out and, make it to the end. So hopefully they know that this is, you got a little bit of racing to do before you get to that end. So keep it tidy, keep it neat, and hopefully go for a win here tonight.
It looks like they're getting ready to come off at turn 4 and start coming down the front straightaway. The pace car is in. Why don't you bring it to the green, buddy?
We got Haden Higginbotham leading us to green here as he is on the gas pedal. Green flag is out. We see Barney waving the flag going into turn 1 here at USA International, week 2 of the Grand National Touring Series.
It was a great start, good clean start. Everybody got off. Nobody spun their tires, and we have the number 10 car, the missile car, just absolutely taken off, Mr. Higginbotham, and he's not looking back.
He is not looking back as you see a fight for P2 behind him. That is Mr. Gordon Fraley and Zach Johnson on the outside. Fraley looking on the inside, trying to move up to P2. Johnson almost goes into the wall.
Johnson hanging tough on that outside line, and Fraley, he just has that preferred line, and you see Johnson smart enough to, he's just going to fall back in line. It's way too early to speed.
Go into the wall. That was Thomas Villano. That's going to be a lot of damage. He's probably going to have to use his fast repair there. That was a lot of speed going into the wall. I am not too sure what happened. There's another car off track, I believe. That is the 21 of Mac Fabini.
I wonder what happened there.
So that was after the caution came out, but let's go back to what caused the caution here for Thomas Villano. As you see, it's a hornet's nest in the back. And he just got turned.
Ooh. He didn't just get turned. He got bulldozed.
He got bulldozed.
Yeah, I have a feeling race control is going to take a second look at that one and decide whether or not there's going to be an EOL. But yeah, that's
Yeah, you see the 51 just going a little too hard, and he just gets the one turned around and just continues pushing him through the corner and up into the wall in turn 4. Maybe that isn't too much damage. I mean, there's definitely a decent amount of damage on there.
Yeah, he got crunched. I think it's going to be a little bit more than just a loose tire on that one, but I don't think he's going to need to use up his fast repair just yet.
We have another crash report for Gabriel Karinen. This was under caution. I believe they were just slowing down. But let's see if we could figure out what happened with Fabini going off track. That was after the incident.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay.
I wonder if he had an issue with the steering wheel.
That's what I
Just
wonder
kind
as
of.
well, because he kind of just, you know, he was driving straight and it just went straight down the track.
Yeah, totally unintentional, you can tell. So something must have gone wrong there, and it looked like in the back there, did he, Mr. Villano, did he get a EOL?
I don't believe Volano got an EOL,
Or
but
in the black
Carignan,
car,
who
Carignan,
was
yeah,
behind him, I believe he did get an
yeah,
EOL.
yeah. That's the one I meant. I just got him confused there. Well, 51. He has plenty of time to work his way up. We only have a couple of laps into this thing. He's got plenty of time. I gotta be honest with you, Nate. If I'm in this race today, I think I want to be back with that 51. I think I want to get halfway through this race before I start actually racing.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like I would be I want to be up front. Green flag is back out on lap 6, going on to 7. Big jump for Higginbotham.
Higginbotham just faked everybody right out of their G strings. As you see Fraley coming off, he came off that corner like a freight train.
Yeah, he had a big run going into turn 2. Caution is out once again. It was for Joe Gibbons in the back.
Oh,
Oh no. This looks
cautions
like
breed cautions.
it looks like it's just a one-car incident. That is true. Cautions do breed cautions. Let's see if he had any help.
Yeah. Did he just get on it? No, he's. Ooh, it's hard to tell from that angle, but I wonder if he had a little neck coat in there.
Let's see. I did not mean to fast forward it there, but now we got a slow motion.
Spot.
There we go.
Because right now it looks like the 32 car is far enough behind. Whoa.
Oh yeah, it kind of looks like he gave him a little
Maybe,
bit of help.
yeah, it looks like the 32 just accelerated a little bit faster than the 8 car did, and I don't think that was intentional. He doesn't see that the 8 car has to check up for the 11 car, and yeah, that's just
that one's a racing incident right there.
Yeah, that's tough luck for both of those guys.
So Gibbons will drop to the back. He won't have to use a fast repair for that though, as it was just that tiny little turn.
Yeah, aerodynamics really don't matter too much here, not compared to like last week. But last week just turned out to be, what an exciting race that turned out to be. Right at the end, everything that happened, and I'm still waiting for the fireworks. We haven't even gotten a really good green flag run yet.
Oh yeah, once these guys get going for sure, that will be where it honestly fully picks up here. And that's where I expect to see a lot of interesting things going on, especially with tire saving. You know, we're heading to lap 60 for the midway break, basically our competition caution. So it'll be interesting to see what those guys are doing here. And, you know, with what I was saying before the race started, you know, a lot of cautions. Hey, maybe at that competition caution, you don't have to take tires. Maybe it's just gas that you take. And, you know, with how it's going, maybe there's just a lot of cautions and the tires won't really get worn.
The longer you can hold off on the tires, the better you're going to be at the end of the race.
That is true. You want to have the most tire basically at the end of the race to be the fastest you can be. That's the best way to put it. You know, you want to have fresh tires. That's the name of the game. Especially with these short tracks, once they fall off, you know, they're gone. You're never gonna get that speed back.
As the lights go off the pace car, I'm trying to find some statistics here and see if I can get them to pop up on iRacing. And of course, it's just not working for me. But they're getting ready to go green again as the cars are side by side, ready to come off turn 4.
Haden Higginbotham still out front, but this time he's got Gordon Fraley on his outside. But Higginbotham gets a great jump once again. Even with, you know, without a restart zone, it's kind of easy to get a good jump here on the bottom just because it's whenever you want to go. See Fraley looking on the bumper of Higginbotham.
Right there, you could see 2 different lines that guys were entering into the corners are. That's going to be another thing that you really kind of see right there. You see the upper line starting to come in a little bit, but you see Fraley coming underneath, and he's going to take over the lead here.
He's trying to, at least as they go into 3. Higginbotham's going to be able to clear on the outside, but he's going to be using a little bit more tire doing that.
Yes, and you only 14 laps in. You don't want to race too hard.
Yeah, and you know, I would say track position is probably key, especially here. So maybe he's, you know, just trying to fight to keep that first place position. And, you know, that's such an advantage on the restarts as we see a caution once again, as it was for Julia Comic. I believe we saw her blinking on the outside of turn 4 as the leaders went through.
Now, last week she was one that, ooh, yeah, that was kind of a hard hit there. But, you know, last week that was one of the drivers that was in the back of the pack and just kind of slowly kept coming forward. And by the end of the race, I think they were in the top 10.
I believe she was, yes. She's still out on track as you see the field going by. Kind of stuck up there, trying to figure out the right time to go down. But yeah, you see, I don't believe Robert Fraley made the race. So he will finish 17th.
I am trying to...
Three cautions so far, 16 laps in. You know, it's looking like a little bit of a normal ARCA race out here. It is a short track, so I won't put too much blame on them. I definitely expect there to be a lot of cautions in the Cup Series when we go to Bristol and Martinsville for sure. I don't know how Phoenix will go on Wednesday, but Bristol and Martinsville will definitely have a decent amount of cautions.
Yeah, Bristol is one of those tracks that every car that I've driven on that track races different than the car previous, and the trucks do not handle like the Cup cars, and the Cup cars don't handle like the Xfinity cars, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they all have different power models too, you know, power models, you know, horsepower, that's what I meant to say. They all got different horsepower, different bodies, so it's all different driving out there. So it'll be interesting when we go there. I believe it's after Phoenix we go to Bristol, and then we go to Coda, so I'm ready for those races. So you guys will be able to see that live here on this Twitch channel on Wednesday, so look out for that.
Hopefully I won't be rushed to the hospital on Wednesday night like last week. Did you see that number 10 car just getting ready? Lights are off. The pace car, one more. Oh, no, they're not.
They are on.
Oh, boy. Yeah, they are. And we have the number 5. She's still in the pits. I wonder if she already used her fast repair.
It looks like she did use her fast repair. Yeah, she definitely did. So Julia has no fast repairs left for the rest of this race. So got to stay out of trouble there. And that's kind of what happened at Charlotte last week as well. She was able to stay out of a decent amount of trouble. She did end up using the fast repair, I think, around midway through the race. But after that, she soldiered through and ended up with the top 10, I believe.
Yeah, she was right there at the end, the top 10 or 11, I can't remember, but it wasn't neat. A lot of it wasn't her doing. She got caught up in other people's messes.
I think it's actually 11th. Yeah, it was 11th. But, you know, right outside the top 10 there, which is still a great race to have.
It is with these guys as we coming off turn 4 again and getting ready to go green.
And once again, it's Higginbotham out in front, lap 20 here at USA. Great jump
Fraley?
Once again.
Fraley looked like he kind of came down towards the middle of the track on that start and kind of pushed Higginbotham to the bottom there.
You know, it is interesting. We see Higginbotham kind of working that middle lane somewhat as caution is out once again. It's going to be for Thomas Villano and Bob Baker.
Ooh.
Oh, and also Gabriel
Oh,
Crittenden was in there as well.
and poor Gabriel had nothing to do with that, but I think the 1 and the 11, I think something happened prior to that, and they're not too happy with each other.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. There's also a possibility that, you know, maybe he braked a little early and he wasn't expecting, you know, that. Thomas wasn't expecting Baker to brake right there. But that was pretty interesting. He just completely got up under his hood. Or under his
Why don't
bumper,
we
I'm sorry.
why don't we see if we can get a hold of Mr. Higginbotham?
He is a part of that channel that I was not able to drag. Let's see if
Oh,
we
that's
can...
right too. Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
no,
Well,
I still can't.
how about Mr. Fraley back there in second place?
I believe we should be able to get Gordon Fraley here. If it wants to let me drag, there we go. Hey there, Mr. Fraley, it's the boys up in a booth. You got a copy?
Hey, good, man.
Turn you up a little bit.
Hey, this looks like fun out there. How's it feel? How's the track feel?
Pretty good, I guess. You know, it'd be real cool if we could get, you know, a green flag run in. But I think we've had, what, 8 green flag laps so far, so...
Total of 4
It's hard to tell,
cautions,
but
yeah.
it's... Yeah. It's hard to tell, but it's a good time. Not too squirrely.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of cars, especially in practice, the track was a little slick, the temperature was up, everybody was having problems coming off of the corners, just giving it way too much gas. Kind of seems to be the same problems here. Now, at the beginning of that that last restart, it kind of looked like you came down a little bit towards the middle of the track to kind of squeeze the 10 cars. Is it just what it looks like up in the booth, or is you actually trying to pull a little shenanigans there on the restart?
Well, I'm certainly not trying to... I'm not trying to make it easy on them. But, you know, just trying to make sure we all get a fair restart.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. It's been a lot of fun to watch, buddy. Good luck to you, man. We still got a ton of racing left. We 100 more laps to go, and we want to see you out there at the end of this thing.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself. And hey, I'm going to tell you something right now. The original Hooters was in Clearwater Beach.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be down there in a couple of weeks, so let's go fishing, buddy.
For sure.
All right, we'll see you,
right.
buddy. Good luck.
See ya.
That is Mr. Gordon Fraley running P2 at the moment. Seems pretty happy about his car right now.
He
Just
is. He
won in
seems
a caution-free race, however.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there. He seems a little bit too relaxed, which is not a good thing for everybody else around there, because if he's that relaxed and he's running second place, he's got something up his sleeve.
And you know, to me, as a racer, when you get a lot of cautions, that kind of just relaxes you. You know, you're kind of just pacing around the field at that point. And we do see a new car in the field. It's going to be Pierce Sonderup in the 19. He's going to be, I believe, 22 laps down. Yeah, so he just joined the session. But he is out on the track.
Well, good to have him out there.
As the leader's coming out of 4, Higginbotham getting on that loud pedal once more.
Oh,
green flag
great
is out.
jump.
Yeah,
What a great
jump. See Persinger working that outside there of Zach Johnson. One car way up high in the back. But Persinger's making a move around the outside on Johnson right here.
Yeah, that's that team, a fellow team missile car, and he's shooting around the outside like a tomahawk on the 48.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to clear him coming out of turn 4, going into turn 1 here. That's going to secure P3. So
yeah,
it looks like they got some fast cars. Oh,
they definitely have some fast cars, but that 48 car doesn't seem to be driving as hard as he was earlier. It looks like he's just kind of settling back. Hold on to it. Oh boy.
More cars behind him get turned. That was Pierce Sonderup getting run into by Thomas Villano. That might be the end of Villano's race.
Oof. Yeah, I've never seen it. Oh boy. Yeah.
So we got 4 cars in an incident here, and it was two separate incidents. One with 1 car and one with 3 cars.
Yeah, the 37 car just tries not to roll into the back of the
The 30, yeah.
30 car there, and it looks like he just starts to lose it, and
He gets a little bit of help from that 21.
yeah,
There's a little bit
and
of
then
contact. And then he just lost it. And then behind them, they're checking up.
yeah,
Karidnan checks up a little too much. Pierce Sonderup runs into him, and then Thomas Villano runs on the door of Pierce Sonderup. So a 4-car incident right there. And it all started with just Joe Wright getting turned, kind of coming out of 4.
Ooh, tough night for that 51 car.
So that will definitely be a few fast repairs probably being used there, especially for the 19 and the 1 if the 1 hasn't already used it. But he is still out there with that damage, so I believe he has used it. So kind of unlucky there.
Starting to look more like a modified.
Oh yeah. We do have a few cars with a decent amount of damage in the back here. We're going through them.
Well, this track is the same size as Martinsville, except it has a lot more banking in it.
That is true. You know, it is a little bit faster than Martinsville just because of that banking. You're able to roll into the corner a little bit faster, and you don't have to brake as much as Martinsville. So it just allows for that freedom, you know, to kind of use that top lane for passing like we saw the 99 at Persinger use to get that P3 spot on Johnson.
And there's no curbs.
That is true. But once again, 31 laps into this race so far, Haden Higginbotham out front once again. He was, you know, out front with Zach Johnson at Charlotte before that little incident on the front stretch where Higginbotham got into the back of Johnson. And, you know, that gave him an EOL and put him at the back of the field, and he had to work his way back as well.
Yep.
But he was able to do pretty good and get back up in the top 5.
He did. He had a great car all night long, and you know, had that little incident in the front, and took his medicine, went to the back, and still almost won the race.
Yeah, and he's once again fast out front, and it seems like he's not really pushing too hard. Obviously, we haven't really seen a long run yet, so we have no idea how hard these guys are really pushing. We have no idea what their tires are looking like. I would assume a lot of them are looking pretty good still. Considering that this is the 5th caution with about 30 laps into the race, so
I think they only have about 10 to 15 green flag laps on these cars. As they get ready to go green flag, coming out of turn 4 one more time. Another great jump by Higginbotham as Fraley kind of is going to fall behind, but he's got problems on the inside with Persinger.
yeah, we see Persinger trying to work that inside as Fraley's going to clear. See a little bit of jockeying for position out back as well.
Yeah,
As we see Fraley go to the outside. He's trying to make the outside work now.
Wow, what just happened? Mr. Fraley just found another gear on the outside, and maybe that temperature came down to the track already. I don't know, but he just made a new lane.
And shot like a missile out of a cannon. Fraley is able to jump out front in front of the missile cars as another caution is out once again.
Oh, man. Oh, man. What do we got this time? Let's see where it is in the back of the pack.
And it looks like it's going to be Gabriel Karidnan, Mac Fabity, and Joe T. Wright involved in this one. So Karidnan just can't get out of trouble here tonight. He just keeps finding things to get involved in. Let's see what happened here as they're going into turn 1. Joe Wright getting a little loose.
And that 37 Krispy Kreme car again. And here comes the 51, just trying everything he can not to get involved in another incident. And the 37 car says, nope, you're coming with me, buddy.
Oh! And we see Joe Wright almost completely go over. He gets a lot of air.
Oh, wow.
And he's on top of the Fabini car. Is he going to flip over fully here?
Go, come on. Is he going to do it? Is he going to?
Oh. He's going to rest
no.
on top of the 21.
If he went over, it would have been a good 9.5, but I'm going to go with an 8.7 instead.
So,
Another tough
interesting
incident
wreck
for those guys.
as we see Julia Comic get a lap back.
Yeah, she is, and I tell you what, if she continues to fight and claw her way back like she did last week, she's going to be right back on the lead lap.
Yeah, running top 15 right now. You know, obviously you don't want to pray for people to wreck, but you kind of are when you're a few laps down. So, you know, that's working out in her favor at the moment.
We know we're going to have that competitive flag, caution flag, so the chances of her coming back on the lead lap are pretty good.
We got a notification for Jim Mott crashing. I think he was just braking.
Oh, a couple of those guys in the front there had some issues.
That was Ryan Taft checking up pretty hard in front of him. Another interesting thing with these cars is they have a raised front end, so when you brake, they kind of just, you know, drop to the ground. That's a very fun thing to watch with these cars.
It is, and I think stuff like that is the reason why the SRX program is really taking off on iRacing. You're seeing all kinds of series showing up with the SRX, and it's that same type of driving. You get on the brakes and that front of the car drops to the ground, and there's just something so wonderful about seeing that on the racetrack.
Yeah, in that run we did get a few more laps in than we have so far, so we did see a little bit of a run here. And we saw Fraley take the lead from Higginbotham. Higginbotham was leading all the laps leading up to that point, so we now see a new leader. How is Fraley going to manage these restarts on the inside?
And you got those two team cars, the 9 and the 10, side by side, so that's going to be interesting to watch. Plus, you have the 48 just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, don't forget about Zach Johnson in fourth.
Yeah, Zach Johnson's playing possum right now. Zach Johnson, I believe, can go to the front of this field anytime he wants, and he's just hanging out there playing possum.
Biggest mover at the moment is going to be Joe Gibbons in the 8. He's moved up 7 positions at the moment. Or actually, sorry, 6 positions because he is on the outside.
Yeah, Papa Mott up there in the top 10 as well.
Yeah, so it's a good race for a lot of these guys in the back of the top 10, honestly.
And here we go. Let's see how Gordon starts it off. Gordon, the outside lane. The 10 car gets a great run, and he's been working with that outside lane.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to restart yet on the outside, so that's kind of our first look at his outside restart, and he matched Fraley's jump. And
he did.
Something we haven't seen Fraley be able to do with Higginbotham's jump.
He did match it, but Fraley still had the power to get out front and get into the lead again, and only 41 laps in this race. All these guys just want to get a good 50 laps in and just get some good green flags and figure the cars out.
Yeah, and I just wonder how hard these guys really are pushing. They probably have it in the back of their mind that, there's been a lot of caution so far. Maybe there will be a few more before we get to the end of this competition stage, I'll call it. I know it's not a stage, but it's basically a stage. It's a halfway break.
Yeah.
But, before this competition caution comes out, maybe there's another real caution that comes out, and they don't have to push too hard. And we'll see. But I believe we'll 100% see a few pit stops for sure. I honestly believe it will be the full field. But maybe there is that one person that decides, hey, maybe I want to stay out.
Yeah, well, I think that person is going to be that number 48 car because he's fallen back to 6th position right now. But each guy that went by him, they didn't have much of a fight. If you see him, and it looks like he's going to let the 29 car go on the outside, or the 24 car. The 48 car just doesn't seem to be battling. He's just kind of letting these guys do whatever they want to do, and I think that 48 car is saving.
I believe he is saving too as well, honestly. We saw him put down some fast laps in practice. He was the fastest car in practice, and we did see him, practicing that long run as well. And another interesting thing is he's making all these guys go by him on the outside, so he's making them use their tires while he's not using his tires.
That's right. As you see the 24 car trying to get in, the 24 car just needs to be patient. So we're still just at the beginning of this race, and he just needs to chill out and not worry about getting in the front. He just needs to save himself.
Yeah, and we see Mr. Jeremy Tebon in 5th place right now. He's moved up 2 spots since the beginning of the race. So he's not doing too bad. Go back out front with Gordon Fraley. He's got a almost half a second lead right now on Haden Higginbotham.
Yeah, these guys are starting to settle in. Nobody seems to be racing. They're loving these green flag laps. So they're just going to try to kick off and set themselves up for the end of this race now.
Yeah, I bet they are. And, you know, we're looking at this battle for the lead right now, and we're just kind of wondering how hard these guys really are pushing. They know that this competition caution is in, you know, odd 13 laps at the end of lap 60. So, you know, what is their thought process here? Do I want to go a little off strategy? Do I want to push as hard as possible? Be out front for that caution? Because who knows, maybe that competition caution is that last caution that we have for this race. You never know.
Well, these guys are running about 4/10 of a second up to 6/10 of a second slower than what they were in practice. So I think they're just kind of settling in and just kind of rolling around.
And that makes me wonder, you know, how much maybe tire wear is actually going on these cars. You know, we see the 9 get a little bit sideways out of 2 there. He's able to keep it straight, though. It wasn't that big of a wiggle.
Well, tire wear really isn't the problem right now, but tire temperature is. What's the difference?
True.
Well, we had a bunch of cautions. So you had a couple of green flag laps, your tires got hot, then they had to cool down again for a caution lap. Then the tires got hot the next green flag lap, and you already have 4 or 5 cycles of heat through these tires, and that hurts worse than tire wear.
As we see, Higginbotham still working on that lead. He's moved up to about 3/10 back now. See, Persinger has settled into P3 with Nate Cadet and P4. Tebon still holding on to 5th.
Persinger seems to be struggling a little bit more than the 10 car through the corner. I'm wondering if he burnt up his right front tire more than the 99, more than the 10 car did.
I'm wondering that too. We did see him go around the outside of Zach Johnson to get that P3 spot, but he has held on, sorry. And he has a second over Nate Cadet here in P4, so if he's able to hold on for these last 8 laps, 7 laps as they come to lap 54 here, he should be good.
A lot of these guys running very smooth, just kind of following each other's tire tracks, and I think that they just want to get through some of these green flag laps because of those cautions that we had earlier.
Yeah, and we had a car enter pit road. It was Mr. Bob Baker. He comes out in the track on P14.
Mr. Baker was on the lead lap.
I think he still is on the lead lap. I wonder if he got loose and maybe entered pit road on accident. Because he still is on the lead lap, as you see the leaders behind him. Coming to lap 57 once they hit the line once again.
And Fraley looking very smooth.
He has pulled a second gap over Higginbotham.
Again, unfortunately, he's getting ready to go around that 5 car, which is going to put her down another lap.
It is, but that's also some dirty air for Fraley.
Yes,
He's able
it is.
to do some dispatching, though, and get around pretty quickly. Only loses about 2-3 tenths.
Yeah, and she went way high, giving everybody plenty of room to go by. Great sportsmanship. And Fraley is looking smooth. This is his race right now.
This is 100% Gordon Fraley's race to lose here. He is out front once he took that lead on, I believe it was lap 35. He hasn't looked back.
He's just enjoying that nice clean air, and Higginbotham really isn't pushing the issue too much. Every once in a while he'll get close, but everybody seems to be just on cruise control. It's another Sunday night cruise around the neighborhood.
As we see a battle for P5 here.
Yep, Zach Johnson. I don't know if I want to be in a lot of that traffic right there.
I definitely would not want to be either. Honestly, when you got a lot of cars around you, that's 100% the most uncomfortable feeling out on a racetrack. As we got Gordon Fraley coming around out of turn 2 going into turn 3 here. This will be the competition caution once they cross the line.
Here they come. Gordon Fraley is going to be the... There's the yellow. Competition caution is out. Mr. Fraley, congratulations to you, sir. You are our leader at halfway.
He is, and we've seen Haden Higginbotham and Gordon Fraley out front so far, 2 leaders. At the moment, who do you think has the strongest car between these two?
Who, it's hard to tell because I know Gordon wasn't running full bore, and I certainly know Higginbotham wasn't running full out. So it's kind of hard to tell. Both of those guys, all they want to do is make it to this point right now, calm down, then decide whether or not to do their pits and get their new tires. But it's hard to tell. Nobody's really shown their cards yet. But I have a feeling those top 4 cars, top 5 cars, they're going to be a battle. And here comes the train into the pit area.
And it looks like they will be taking tires, no gamblers throughout the field here.
Yeah, which tells me that the tire wear is pretty significant.
See Fraley and Higginbotham enter their stalls with the rest of the field behind them. There goes Zach Johnson. As you see all their cars getting lifted on the jacks. See Thomas Villano. You see the 32 of Nate Cadet goes out first.
Oh my. Did he get 2 tires?
He might have gotten 2 tires. Gordon Fraley's going to come out second. Haden Higginbotham third. Persinger fourth. Zach Johnson's going to beat Jeremy Tebon out for 5th and 6th. Wolf is going to stay to 7th. Taft in 8th. Jim Mott in 9th. And Joe Gibbons rounds out the top 10. See Villano in 11th. Karinen in the 12th. And Fabini in 13th.
Those guys have had a tough night tonight. Bob Baker, his race hasn't been exactly stellar as well. He's been dragged into a couple of different incidents.
Yeah, so now we see a third leader, and I believe he did take 2 tires. I honestly don't think that he took 4. There's no way. I don't have anything that tells me how many tires he took, but I believe he took 2 with how fast that stop was.
Let's ask him. Can we get in touch with him?
Let's see. I am not seeing a Nate Cadet. So we cannot get in touch with him, no. That kind of sucks, but we're going to assume that he took 2 tires just because of how fast that pit stop was. I love it when my second monitor goes out. That's amazing. Just randomly. We're all back and good, though.
I'm out here. I'm trying to find somebody from... see if I could find any other drivers.
But yeah, interesting race so far. We were able to have a little bit of a green flag run there right at the end of the first half of this race. And now we got a new leader. And he hasn't been out front all day. So it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table here.
He is going to be the restart. Now, the 32 hasn't restarted out front yet. The 9 has. We know for a fact that the 9 has 4 new tires, and the 32 doesn't. So it's going to be interesting to see if 4 tires are better than 2 here.
And honestly, I feel like it is possible to make 2 tires work around here. You know, those 2 right side tires, with how much, turning is really going on here. I feel like the left sides don't get as used. But we'll see here as they're getting ready to come back green.
And there he goes. Both cars get off, and he gets to jump out in front of Fraley. For the first time tonight, the 32 tied car, which is good to see that combo out front again. As they come down the back straightaway, oh boy, look at this.
I believe he locked up his tires going into turn 1 and 2 there. He did slide up the track just a tiny bit. Here comes Fraley on the inside.
Yeah, and then once again, Cadet on the outside just keeps it down, and oh, those guys are getting squirrely. They make a little bit of contact there.
A little bit of beating and banging out front. They keep it
Yeah.
green as we see a car going out into the wall. It's Ryan Taft.
No!
Jim
Papa
Mott
Mott
was also on
involved.
the wall. I don't believe he has too much damage, however. His car looks pretty much brand new. But Ryan Taft was turned there. So let's go back and see what happened. Clicked on the wrong incident. There we go. So yeah, just chaos on the restart once again. And Taft's a little bit high. He gets loose, comes down, and the 8 clips him. Nothing the 8 kind of could do there. Looked like Mott got a little bit loose as well.
Yeah, he was trying to run that outside line, and there's a very... Yeah, he's just out in the marbles just a little bit too much with those outside tires, and it caused that car just to spin around on him. Tough break for the number 30. Watch when he comes out of the corner. It's going to be a little bit higher, and just kind of... next corner, he's going to be a little bit higher. And
this is another replay of another
is
incident.
Oh,
under
okay.
caution, and he spun catching back up to the field. But yeah, he was running up in the marble. We'll go back to it real quick here. You see him running that middle lane up in the marbles.
Yeah, he's way up there and just gets yep. It looked like Papa Mott saw that happening and he tried to slow down. The same thing almost happened to him.
Yeah, and he lightly tapped the wall, so he shouldn't have too much damage on his car. When we looked at it, it didn't seem like it was too bad. So he should be able to continue on as Fraley is back out front.
He is. Let's see if we can get a hold of Mr. Who haven't we talked to today?
I am not sure. Let's see. We got
Persinger and Higginbotham we can't get a hold of.
If we can get Mr. Tebon in the top 5, maybe we'll give him a chat. So under that next caution, we've been under caution for a few laps already, so they might be coming to 1 to go
Coming
here.
to green one time around. We can hope. The pace car is going to get the point for the most laps led this evening.
That is true. Been out front for a decent amount of laps for sure. But once again, we see Gordon Fraley out front. We saw him lead majority of the race after that halfway point before the competition caution. So about 30 laps into the race. And we saw Cadet take a little bit of a different strategy. He tried to hold on and wasn't able to. Fraley was able to take that lead, and looks like 4 tires might be the move.
Definitely, and one car that's still kind of hanging out there is Zach Johnson, that 48. He's back in 5th spot right now, but you know, I'm going to expect we're going to start seeing him race a little bit more the next couple of laps, and we'll see if he waits to lap 100. I think lap 100, if you're not on the move by lap 100, then it's too late.
Yeah, I believe so. As we see the lights coming out on the pace car, I do believe 100 is kind of the mark that you want to be looking at here for go time, and you know, that's about 25 laps left in the race, so it gives you just enough time, you know, to push as much as you want.
Once again, you see Gordon on the inside, just waiting for his time. He's been very strong on restart so far today. Very strong, and he's got the 99 behind him, which, you know, those cars there, they're teammates, so we'll see how hard they race each other into the corner.
Yeah, you know what? We haven't done it all night. Let's go ahead and give him a little crank it up. as we see multiple cars working multiple lines, Gordon Fraley has jumped out to about 0.5 of a second of a lead here.
Fraley is looking really strong, and yeah, I think that's going to be the car to beat right there, the 9. You know, I think if Johnson had something for him, I think Johnson would be up there a little bit closer. I won't be surprised if he waits to lap 100, but I'm really surprised that he's not up front more, because that's how he was last week.
And you know, with how much time he is pulling on the rest of the field right now, it kind of comes into the head, you know, is he pushing a little too much right now? Cadet is kind of holding up the field, but maybe he is pushing a little too much. We'll see.
I think he's going to run as comfortable as he wants to run. And if the 32 car doesn't start getting out of the way, I think he might be getting a little chrome bumper as you see the 99 trying to find another way around him. But that 32 car right now is Fraley's best friend.
And caution's out once again. It's going to be for Ryan Taft and Jim Mott. Is this going to be a replay?
It is going to be.
Oh, wait, that was the same wreck, sorry. The caution is out, though. It is for Ryan Taft. Here's what happened on this one. And it's a replay of what just happened.
Yeah, it is. It's oh man, Mr. Taft must be getting so frustrating, but it's not him. It's these cars. It's the track. These cars are so sensitive coming out of the corners. It's a lot of fun, but it's also very frustrating.
Oh, trying to go to his car as he enters pit lane. I believe we'll see him take his quick repair if he hasn't taken it already.
Is Comic going to get her lap back as well?
He does take his quick repair there, and I believe Comic should get a lap back. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
So
that's going to put her 1 lap down now, so she still has a chance. She still has some time.
Yeah, she does. We'll put her 1 lap down. She's running 15th still. First car a lap down. I believe the only car a lap down at the moment as well. I believe Joe T. Wright is a few more laps down. So, Lucky Dog will be in her favor.
Yeah, Sondra Rupp is 22 laps down, so there's no competition there. So, she's kind of hoping for a quick yellow flag here, get her right back on the lead lap.
Yeah, let's, you know, we haven't really done this, but let's see if we can get Ryan Taft to talk to us after those last 2 spin outs. See if he's in a good mood or not. Hey there, Mr. Taft, is the boys up in the booth. It's probably not a good time to be hearing us, especially knowing that you've spun out to bring out this caution, but seems like you're struggling a little bit with that exit of 2. How's the car feeling?
Well, it's fine. It's just I've been doing the same amount of power every time, and it just wants to break loose every once in a while. Which is followed by me.
Well, these cars are really sensitive, especially on these half miles coming out of the corners. And, you know, it's just one of the things. It seems as if you have a little bit of damage on that outside corner, and it's not helping you at all.
Yeah, I just went in and picked my fast repair, so it should be helping me now.
All right, we saw you take that, so hopefully your luck turns around here, and hopefully you're able to work your way back up into the top 10, maybe even a top 5 here tonight.
Yeah, I can only hope.
Well, don't give up. We're watching you, man, and give her hell.
Oh, I never give up.
All right, buddy. Take care. Have fun.
Hey, you guys have fun also.
That was Mr. Ryan Taft. He seems in good spirits.
He is. You know, he's out here. He's like me. He's out here having a good time, and his race isn't over yet. Yeah, and he still has time.
And I got a notification saying that Haden Higginbotham crashed. I believe he was just checking up once again. Yeah. But they are getting ready to go green once more. Gordon Fraley out front once again with Nate Cadet on the outside. Let's see how Cadet can time Gordon Fraley's restarts here.
I hope Gordon takes me seriously when I say let's go fishing next month. Anyways, we're getting ready to go green one more time. Lap 83. Starting to get to crunch time, getting closer to that. Oh boy!
Oh boy, big tire spin. We got cars going everywhere. There goes the 99 off the front end. Oh. And I believe what started that was the 32 spinning his tires on that restart.
That's what it looked like, and he's the only car that didn't get 4 tires. So it makes you wonder, was that a factor? And obviously he didn't mean to do that, and that's just frustrating for those guys who get caught up in that.
Yeah, that's just one of those unlucky moments where, the tires probably aren't fully warmed up yet.
Yeah, there he
And
goes. He already broke loose, and
yep, and these guys below him just have nowhere to go.
oh,
99 hits him a little bit. That gets him loose and gets him turning. Didn't take out Higginbotham though, so Higginbotham's still out there. But that is last week's winner in the middle of the track.
48
turned.
The 48 car got a piece of that. Now the 48 car still has his fast repair.
And then right at the end there we see Pierce.
Oh,
just give him a little bit of a load tap.
Go. No place to go.
So that will probably see Persinger take his fast repair, as I believe he did. He entered in the pits. Let's see if he took his repair here. Yep. But I believe he is a lap down now, so he will be fighting to get that lap back.
But guess who's back on the lead lap?
Is it giving me 3 notifications saying that he crashed there? I think it's just breaking. I don't know why it does that. It gives me a crash notification for that. But out front, we got Gordon Fraley now, and Micheal Woolf has moved up to P2.
Yeah, we also have the number 5 car is back on the lead lap, and she's already up into 14th spot now.
Yeah, so that's actually going to be somewhat helpful for Persinger here. Oh, he might be going 2 laps down, actually. Or, I think he just had to let Julia go by as the lucky dog. Never mind. Yeah, so he'll only be 1 lap down, so that works out in his favor. Julia's on the lead lap now, so he doesn't have to fight anyone to get back on the lead lap. So if another caution comes out, he's, right back on it, as long as it's not him.
Yeah.
Or as long as he's not involved in it, but he will be able to get that lap back.
And this is our 10th caution so far in 88 laps. So, yeah, the Barney, he's stoking that yellow flag and waving it like he's trying to stoke up a barbecue tonight.
He's probably getting pretty sick and tired of having to reach for that thing. So hopefully these boys can get it going here for these last 30 or so laps.
Well, it's high horsepower cars on a short track, and this is what happens. And I gotta be honest with you, 10 cautions, I don't care. I'm having fun doing this and watching these guys. And
that is
the best
true.
part is nobody gets hurt and nobody's wallet gets hurt.
And looking at Zach Johnson here,
he's got some damage.
He does have some damage, and he definitely still has his fast repair. So it's looking like he's looking to save it, because he definitely thinks that there will be another caution here.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bet to go on.
We got Fabini with a little bit of front end damage as well. The 10 looking good, the 24 looking good, and the 9 looking good. So we got 3 clean cars up front. And then after that, it's a little bit of a different story.
Gets back to zombie land, but I'll tell you what, we a couple of cars that's still back there that don't have any damage, and it's going to be interesting because we're getting ready to go green one more time.
We are, as Gordon Fraley once again leading the field with Haden Higginbotham P3 behind him. You see Wolf gets caught off guard. Doors blown off on the outside there.
Mr. Fraley, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for joking him out of his shorts that bad. What a restart by the number 9 car, and man, 35 laps to go.
We see some battling for P2. Higginbotham still looking on the inside here, trying to clear that 24 and get sailing towards Gordon Fraley's. We see Thomas Villano dropping a few positions. I think he dropped out of the session, actually.
And then if you look, you see that 48 car is starting to get a little more racy.
So I think Villano has dropped out of the session, or maybe not. For some reason, oh, I think he just blinked out.
Oh, okay.
But he was
With all
dropped in
his
the late
problems,
positions.
with all his problems, he's still in 8th spot.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy to say. You know, just keep, you know, soldiering through, and you're able to, you know, run pretty good here. As you see, it's a mess behind him. A bunch of cars battling for position. Ryan Taft back up into the top 10. He gets into the outside wall there.
This track is not easy in these cars, and so beating and bumping, I think I had a 10x by the time I ended practice today.
And we got a few cars pushing here up front. Higginbotham trying to cut that lead down. He's worked it in with about 3/10 now.
Yeah, he's definitely he gained about 2/10 of a second just that last lap, and he's starting to close in that gap. The number 10, I think, is starting to smell blood in the water.
Yeah, and look who's sitting back in P4. That's Mr. Zach
That's
Johnson.
right.
He's
You
waited,
called it.
and I think he's giving it a little bit of a go time.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting a little more racy with with 95 laps. You know, where this is going to be where you're going to see that 48 car. We're going to find out if he's ready to race or if he has too much damage.
And you know, it wasn't too much damage. At least that's what it seemed like. It shouldn't have created too much engine problem, as it, you know, he just slightly tapped that 99 coming across the track. So he shouldn't be down on power at all. But we never know with, you know, these cars. It is a little bit of a different damage model and everything compared to the Cup cars, the truck cars, the Xfinity cars, you know. But these things are, you know, they're pretty built, so he should be looking pretty good here.
One thing, if I'm in those front 4 cars, one thing I am praying for is green flag laps. Why? Well, if you look back in 15th position, the number 99 Persinger is 1 lap down. If you can keep that guy a lap down, then you have a chance of survival. He's been fast tonight, and he's going to work his way forward, but having him down 1 lap is huge. That's dodging a major bullet.
Yeah,
oh!
The 32 gets a little bit loose there out of 4. But yeah, to add on to your point there, just look how fast he is right now. If he was on the lead lap, he'd be running P9 already, and he started in the back.
And if you look at how smooth he is compared to those other cars on his line, some of that is damage and some of that is skill. And he's been smooth everywhere he goes. And, man, I know if I'm Fraley, I'm excited to see that 99 a lap down.
And something that's not looking good for the 99 is Julia Komik's a little bit off pace, looking to go a lap down once again. 25 to go as they hit the line.
Now, one thing about her is every time she comes up to the lead, or the leaders come up to her, she always gets way out of the way. So, great sportsmanship all the time out of the 5 cars. You see her once again dropping to the bottom and just letting everybody by. And that right there should be noticed more by the Moving Chicanes League. When you have a driver that is that aware, that just gets out of the way like that, that's the type of driver I want on my team. That's the type of driver I want in my league.
Yeah, we see Mr. Joe Gibbons running P7. He's our biggest mover so far of the race. Still, he's moved up 9 spots.
He is.
We saw him spin out a little bit earlier, but he's been able to stay in there, and he's running P7 at the moment, about 5 seconds off the leader.
And that Dale Jr. retro car, that still is a nice looking car to see go around the track.
Yeah, and we got Haden Higginbotham trying to run down Gordon Fraley here. He's within 2/10.
It is. He's right on his back bumper with 22 laps to go. Things are going to start getting interesting now. What does Fraley have left? What does Higginbotham have left? We're going to find out.
And 22 laps here is not that long, if you think about it. It's, you know, we're running about 22nd lap times here, so you add it all up, that's probably about 400 seconds.
Yeah, 7 minutes, a little over 7 minutes.
Yeah, so that's not too much time if you really think about it. And the thing that will extend this race, though, is cautions. With 20 to go, If a caution comes out here, everybody will be pushing as hard as possible on that restart.
Well, it's that if there is another restart, it's no longer a race; it's a shootout, and it's going to be a short one.
It will be a sprint to the finish.
As we come around, we're going to be hitting 19 laps to go. Another good green flag race right now, but
We saw
I don't
Higginbotham
know.
slide there out of 4. He
We
lost a little bit of
do.
ground.
Yeah, these cars are starting to get a little dancy, and you see Mr. Fraley is now opening that up to over a half a second.
And Persinger has made his way around Komick for that lucky dog position. Komick is just running a little bit off pace.
Yeah, she unfortunately has had a lot of damage tonight, and a lot of those guys, and sometimes you just can't get it fixed. But she's out here having fun, and good for her.
Top 15 still, which is, you know, not terrible.
Yeah, but
it's a beginner league, so it's definitely something respectable and something that you can work off of. So.
Well, so far this series, from what I've seen out of her, she has set the standard on good sportsmanship, and
very true.
Very proud to have her in our league. I'll tell you that much right now. And Mr. Fraley, Fraley, I think, might be teasing Mr. Higginbotham. Fraley knows what he has. I think Fraley's the man. I don't think anybody can touch him right now.
Yeah, and at the moment, it's a 4-car breakaway. They have left Jeremy Tebon and the rest of the field behind.
One thing Fraley does not want is another caution, and I don't think any of these guys up front. Well, I know Mr. Woolf, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Tebon would love another caution, but
And as you say it, a
caution
comes
man!
out.
See, I should have kept my mouth shut.
I am not getting any reports of a wreck, so I'm not 100% sure what the caution is for. We can try to go back and see here.
Oh, we see one car way up there. Is that Taft?
Oh, it is going to be Taft. Didn't give me a crash update for that. But it's Taft once again. It looks like he got a little bit of help here.
A little bit of help? Yeah, our boys in the booth might want to review that one a little bit more if they already haven't. Yeah, that's a tough break for Mr. Taft.
Doesn't seem like he got too much damage, however. He did hit it pretty well. But the car looks like it's, it's got all tires up still. Let's look at it at full speed here.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got bunted.
Let's see
what
it was like from his view.
I don't know if you want to interview him right now.
Yeah, he might be a little hot now after that one.
Oh, man, that started down the middle of the back straightaway.
Oh, yeah. And that, I believe, was the 61 of Gabriel Karinen.
In his car, and
see it from his view. It looks like Taft's back in kind of danced out there a little bit. Out of 2. It looks like Taft maybe got on the wall and it slowed him down. Yeah, it looks like he hit the wall.
Yeah, there. A little bit, yeah.
So, it
all
might
right.
be deemed a racing incident there?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely makes more sense with what you said. Yeah, that definitely makes more sense. So, he's off the hook.
Yeah, and I don't believe, he has not gotten a AOL yet. And I believe he would have already gotten it. Oh, he's actually 13, even though his car says 51. I've been saying 61 anyway, so...
It doesn't really matter as long as we're having fun. And 12 laps to go. Look who we have up front. Fraley, Higginbotham, Woolf, and Johnson, that 48 car. Let's see if Zach Johnson, let's see if this is the time where he's going to go. So are we going to have a repeat?
Yeah, and if we're looking at the looking back at the beginning of the race here, when Higginbotham was on the outside of Fraley, he was able to match his jump. So we might have a good battle going into 1 here for the lead.
It is, but Fraley's been quick all night long on those restarts, and especially after the last one, he was he was gone. He had worked out to about a half a second in 2 laps.
He
But
was.
by the time we go green, we're gonna have 9 laps to go. We're gonna be under 10 laps. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and something that happened with that caution was Mr. Ryan Persinger getting the lead lap back.
Yes, he did, and 10 laps to go. Yeah, he's going to be starting in 14th position, 10 laps to go. It's going to be really tough. He's praying for the big one, I can tell you that much, but it looks like the lights are off the pace car. We're getting ready to go green, and this is going to be a 10-lap shootout as they come down the back straightaway.
But yeah, we're ready to see some fine ARCA racing here. We got Gordon Fraley on the inside, Haden Higginbotham on the outside.
Yep.
Behind them, you got Zach Johnson and Micheal Woolf.
Here we go, lights are off.
Oh,
His car is off. Let's go. 10 laps to go. I'm excited for this one. Let's go, Mr. Fraley. Let's see what you got.
Fraley gets a decent jump. He's going to be able to clear.
Wow, he's gone. Fraley. Wow. Fraley took off, but I see the 48 car going around the outside of the 24. He's got a freight train moving out there.
We do see him pushing on the outside. The 24 is going to be able to clear him on the inside there. Fall into line in P3.
That was huge for Higginbotham and Fraley. The fact that Wolf got in between that 48 car.
Yeah, and we see Higginbotham get a little loose out of 2 there. He's able to keep it straight, keep it going. He's going to lose a little bit of time, though. 8 laps to go, coming to 7 at the line.
Yeah, and you look at Fraley. Fraley is hitting his marks every lap. He's not rushing anything. He hasn't changed his driving style at all. Higginbotham has to change his driving style because now it's time to go. But Fraley's just waving goodbye. 7 to go.
Yep, coming to 6 to go out of turn 4 here. Fraley has had the dominant car so far. He's praying for no caution as this Hornet nest behind him is looking the wreck, baby.
Man, to tell you what. No, here we go. Oh, no, we got another big wreck. Caution is out for the 12th time today. And Mr. Fraley, I can hear him swearing in his helmet right now.
I don't think I should have said anything.
Oh, man.
I probably should not have said anything.
Hey, you said it, but we were all thinking it. It doesn't really matter. And, oh, man, what a tough drag. It looks like Taft just gets in there a little bit too hot, washes up into the one car.
That gets him turned. And
yeah.
Behind him, they're all checking up.
Did the 99 get collected in that?
He was able to make it around the outside.
Oh,
and we
man.
see Bob Baker hit Gabriel Corridon in the rear end there.
Poor Gabriel. Gabriel's been hit by the Zamboni tonight, I think. Just about everything has happened to that poor guy.
Yeah, and someone we hadn't really talked about all night, Bob Baker, he was staying out of trouble, and he's found himself in some trouble here late in the race.
Yeah, and he's in 11th spot, but that 99 car, he's in 10th already.
Moved
so
up 4
that
spots so far.
That quick period of time, so 4 laps to go. See how important it was having him down a lap for that length of period. That's what saved a lot of guys in that front row.
Yeah, so
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Yeah, we're looking at I believe this is going to be a green-white checkered.
Yes, it is. And, man, I tell you, I'm getting excited, man. Last week was the same one. Last week, they gave us a banger of a finish, and they're going to do it again tonight, these guys. Corey Mott, if you're at home, you created this, pal, so I hope you're enjoying it.
I believe he is race control once again, so I believe he's been watching it, and he's been doing a little bit of work, but I'm sure he's enjoyed the few green flag runs that we've had so far.
It has, and, it's short track racing, so you expect the cautions. But it's been a fun race to watch, and it's 3 laps to go. Fraley and Higginbotham, that's where the race is. Those are the 2 guys.
Yeah, and looking at the rest of the top 5, you still got Zach Johnson P4. Maybe his car just doesn't have enough go in it anymore, and he might just be kind of landlocked there in 4th.
Well, how much tire wear does he have? See, that's the thing, the advantage of being Fraley. Fraley can go whenever he wants. He doesn't have to guess at it. Everybody else is guessing when he's going to go. So sometimes they get on that throttle a little bit too much, and when you get on the throttle too much, you spin the tires, and that ain't good when you're in the front of the pack.
Yeah, and I believe with a P4 finish here for Mr. Zach Johnson, that probably will keep him in the points lead, as Persinger is out in 10th right now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if you're Johnson, I'm not worried about winning this race. With 3 laps to go, I just want a good finish.
Yep.
This race is not going to do anything for him.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
100% worried about finishing this race and just finishing probably in that top 5, honestly.
Yeah, when you come to a short track or like a super speedway like Daytona, you're just hoping to survive. And I don't see lights on the top of that pace car anymore.
There are no lights on that pace car. They are stacked up 2 by 2.
Oh, man, here we go. Coming down the back straightaway behind the pace car. 3 laps to go. Get ready. This is going to be a banger for you folks at home. This is going to be an exciting finish to this race.
This is a green-white checkered. I believe it's multiple attempts. I believe it's unlimited. So we could see a few here. We see Gordon
Pace
Fraley
cars
coming
off.
out of 4 pace cars off. Green flag is out and waving. Haden
Oh.
Higginbotham is going to get a little bit loose on the restart there. He's going to spin his tires, and Gordon Fraley's going to jump out to a lead.
It did. At first, I thought Fraley drove a little bit too far into the corner, but not this time. He is gone. See you later, Mr. Fraley.
He is, and as they're coming out of 4, is there any time for a caution to come out? I don't think so. This race is going to be official. White flag is out.
There it is. Mr. Fraley heading on into turn 1. He sailed that thing in. He's got about 3 car lengths on the number 10 car, but the 10 car just isn't going to have it tonight. This is all Mr. Fraley.
And are we going to see a big sin from the 10? We see him dive it in there. He's going to wash up the track. He's going to go into the wall. And they might be wrecking behind him. No, they keep it clean. I do hear a few cars on the wall, but it looks like they're all straight as someone comes flying across the track into the wall.
There it is, Mr. Fraley. What a great, what a great job. He sent it in there in that first corner. He was not giving up this race. Give it up for Mr. Gordon Fraley, Live Oak, Florida. Son, you better get the fishing equipment ready because we're going down there fishing.
We know he's happy out in that Hooters team. He got it done. He definitely seemed like the dominant car tonight. Led for sure the most laps out there. And we see him park it in the winner's circle.
It is, man. Gordon Fraley, what an excellent job. And oh man, was on top 3. Let's see who we can bring into the booth first, and let Mr. Fraley burn down those tires a little bit.
Yep, so here is our finishing order. We got Gordon Fraley, Haden Higginbotham, and Micheal Woolf in P3, with Zach Johnson finishing P4. Jeremy Tebon's going to round out the top 5.
Cadet, Persinger, Fibony, Mott, and Gibbons are going to end up running off your top 10.
And then throughout the rest of the field, we got Thomas Filano in 11th, Gabriel Kridinen in 12th, Bob Baker 13th, Ryan Taff in 14th, and Julia Komick in 15th, with Pierce Sonderup and Joe T. Wright rounding out the field, as Robert Fraley did not make the race, and Martin is Mr. Bill Martin, who is in the booth with us.
In the booth, and I apologize because for the 3rd race in a row, I forgot to sign out of the practice. So my bad, but hey, you know what? It looks good up there. So let's see who we can get up in this booth. We got to get the top 3.
We can get the top 3, I believe. We have Micheal Woolf and Gordon Fraley in the chat. I do know that Haden Higginbotham is in his team chat, but he is in a chat that I can't move him, so he's got to move up to the podium. But we'll go ahead and drag Mr. Micheal Woolf into the channel and talk to him about his P3. Hey there, Mr. Micheal Woolf. It's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, finishing P3 today here at USA for the 2nd race in the MCRL Touring, Grand National Touring division. How are you feeling after today's race?
All right. Nathaniel. I can barely hear you.
Oh, I'm
That
sorry.
would-
P3 today.
Nathaniel, yeah.
How are you feeling after the second race of the season so far?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, it's it's something to adjust to. You know, every track is different. So all in all, I just feel good about it. Last week we finished in 8th place. After going a lap down or so, getting spun out and land on our hood. So that's a good thing. But yeah, we qualified pretty good today, and I was able to keep up in the front pack for most of the race.
It seems like pretty much all race, Michael, you were able to stay clean. That was one of the big keys to finishing where you did today. As far as the fight in front of you, how much did you have left with your front tires getting in the corners to get up and battle with them?
Yeah, got very loose loose at the end of the race. I mean, I was trying to hold it and adjust as much as I could to the tires being worn out, and to be honest, I was waiting for Hig to, you know, make that mistake so I can get by him for at least second. And he did make that mistake at the end of the race there, and I tried to go around, and I just loosened up myself and went around.
Well, hey man, you finished in top 3. It moves you way up in the points, even though it's only the second race of the season. But congratulations on an awesome run, buddy. P3.
All right, thank you. Yo, have a good day.
You too, bud.
That's our
All right.
P3 finisher, Mr. Micheal Woolf. He seems pretty happy about that finish. I'm sure he's looking for a win some point in this year. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Haden Higginbotham up in the booth, our P2 finisher. Hey there, Hayden.
Geez.
You got a copy as the boys up in the booth.
Yeah, I got you. How you guys doing?
We're
All
doing
right,
good.
buddy. Hey, congratulations. One hell of a race. You know, you guys were strong all day. Your partner got stuck a lap down, your teammate. It was only you up front in the top 3, really in the top 5. What's it like being the lone chicken in a bunch of roosters?
Well, I mean, I kind of had to do the same thing last race when I got sent to the back of the line when Ryan was winning. So I just kind of kept my foot to the floor, and I waited for Ryan to catch up because I knew he was going to catch up. I think he ended up back in 7th from being a lap down. So kudos to him, and shout out to Gordon. It was really fun racing him. He got loose in front of me a little bit. He got loose in front of me, and I backed off. That was probably my only chance of getting him because those restarts on the outside line are so tough. It's so hard to judge it, and the inside line gets such a good run.
That was one of the things that we discussed because it seemed as if on the outside you actually did better out of most guys as keeping up with Fraley, but that last 2 he got, man, he just got such a great start.
Yeah, he left me. He left me at the restart. Those last 2 restarts. I'm lucky that last caution came out because he was gonna walk me even worse until that caution came out. I thought that was gonna be my only chance.
Yeah, we saw you earlier in the race where you were able to time that jump on the outside lane with Fraley, where the inside just seemed to get that advantage pretty much throughout the race. Did you feel like you did anything different there compared to the start of the race at the end of the race there?
Well, before on the restarts, I didn't realize that you could go the same speed as they were, even if it says like 45. So like the first like few restarts we had, I was staying at 45 and then going. So that last restart that I actually kept up with him, I just kept his speed and went as soon as he went.
Gotcha.
Well, hey Hayden, you had a great race tonight. Congratulations on a second place finish, and you moved up in the points.
Yeah, it was a good race. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed.
We did. See you later, buddy. Take care.
Yeah, hopefully we see you next week.
Oh, definitely. See you guys.
That's Haden
right.
Higginbotham, our P2 finisher, and actually we have some breaking news from the race control. Micheal Woolf is going to be deemed in P4, so that moves Mr. Zach Johnson up into P3.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd like to know the story behind that.
So we'll give it a look in a second. Let's go ahead and get our interview for Gordon, and then we'll give it a look, and then maybe we'll interview Zach as well since he is now P3. So that's a little bit of interesting news.
Yeah.
But
Let's see if we can get our winner up here.
yeah, let's get our winner up here, Mr. Gordon Fraley.
Don't worry.
Oh, hey there, Mr. Gordon. Did you get a copy?
Howdy, howdy.
All right, we talked to you earlier in the race when you took the lead, and now you're out front once again, and you were able to get it done at the end of the race. How was your car feeling out there on those late race restarts, and what were you thinking when those cautions were coming out?
Please don't spin out into me. That was pretty much it. Yeah, like, I don't know, this track is, if you don't take care of it, like, you lose your tires.
Yeah.
But if you do, like, the tires are in, like, I'd have to go into the pits, but at the stage break, my tires were at 95.
Really?
So I wasn't burning them up at all. So, like, I wasn't too terribly concerned. I was mostly like, hopefully the person on the outside doesn't wreck me.
Yeah. What are you doing to the 48 car?
We're doing a little Polish victory lap. It's a role reversal. I got the Hooters car. I'm in the 9. He's the 48. You know, a little callback.
Oh, man.
Callback to
Well, I'll
Watkins
tell you,
Glen.
you had an awesome race tonight. You brought home the victory. Obviously, it's going to help you. It's going to put you in a good mood for when we get together to go fishing and hog hunting in Florida.
Oh, yeah. Which
So-
also, I feel like I should clarify before this goes on too much longer. I don't actually live in Florida.
No! I'm trying to find a buddy in Florida.
Listen, I'm from Florida. I live in Portland, Oregon, though. But my parents are down there still. So we're down there. Yeah, Robert Fraley. I think he's Robert Fraley 2 in the league.
Yeah, junior.
That's my dad. So
And he's in
you
Florida.
hit him up. Yeah, he's
Well,
down there in Florida.
You call him up and tell him he's got a guest coming next month. But hey, congratulations, Gordon, man. An awesome race, and I hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, thank you. That's my first win with the league. I came close at Auto Club last year, but this is it's a nice feeling.
Yeah, I got one more question for you, actually, real quick. We don't have a race next week, actually. I said see you next week to Haden Higginbotham, but it's going to be in 2 weeks. But it's going to be at Talladega. How are you feeling about Talladega?
Well, I'm not 100% sure I'm racing it. Me and Robert Fraley III share a rig, so he might, if he wants to do the Talladega race, I'm going to let him do that. But if I do it, I mean, I hate super speedway racing.
Yeah.
Not a ton of skill. There is a little bit of skill there, but like it's 75% luck. That last 25% is definitely useful, but especially with as many cautions as we get sometimes, I have my suspicions that it's not going to come down to the best driver of the day.
All right.
That's awesome.
That is
Well,
our winner, Mr. Gordon
is-
Fraley.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Gordon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, the only person we have left, let's get Mr. Zach Johnson and find out what is going on.
Yeah, you know what? Real quick, let's actually go back and look to see if we can find anything before we go ahead and talk to him, so we know what's going on here. Let's see if iRacing will give us any information, because there is a possibility that Wolf might have X'd out, but I don't think he got X'd out. So let's take a look at the finish here as they're coming across the line.
No, doesn't look like this. And
Oh, it's gonna be when Wolf got spun.
oh,
yeah, there it
just
is.
wow.
So
what
there was one car that got turned. I definitely heard a few cars hit the wall. We did see the 10 of Higginbotham hit the wall out of 4 as we saw him push the corner, but we did not see the 24 lose it there.
Yes, and the 48 just gets him. What a heartbreaker.
Yep. So that is going to be the reason why Mr. Zach Johnson is our P3 finisher. So let's go ahead and pull him up.
Yeah, let's get him in here.
Hey there, Mr. Zach Johnson. It's the boys up at the booth. I just butchered your name. I'm so sorry. But you are officially P3.
Yep.
How are you feeling after that finish?
Okay. I mean, it's not the results I wanted, but it's a podium still. I still keep the points lead by a point, so I'm not too worried about it. Obviously Talladega next, so and you know how I am on the super speedway, so I expect to be up front for Talladega and to win Talladega. So other than that, the race was tough. Tough racing here with all the cautions. Well, one with all the cautions, and then just can't pass anywhere. And with these cars too, you can't really give them the bumper without absolutely killing the guy in front of you. So just had to stay patient, hope for a long run. Got the long run, started to make ground up, and was closing it in on I was running like a tenth faster than the leaders was, and then the caution came out. So
Yeah,
just yeah, not a good.
Not a good run. You came in third position. You say it wasn't your best run, which, hey, we understand what you were saying by all the cautions. How frustrating was that? Does that really play a part in your head when you're just trying to get this race over with? Do you get to that point?
Yes and no. I mean, I get to the point because I like green flag runs. I'm a better driver on green flag runs, so I save tires better than or I was. I don't know about Gordon, but I was saving tires. I think better than everyone else in front of me. So,
You
I just wanted a green flag run for this thing to play out and be able to make moves and work my way up through the field.
Well, you're going to leave the second race still in first place, heading into another track where survival is just the game.
Mhm.
So, congratulations on the third place finish, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
That is our
Well-
winner, Mr. Zach Johnson. Let's go ahead and get a look at the points real quick. I will pull up the MCRL website.
Well, that was another crazy finish at the end. 2 races in a row, and look at the points now.
Yeah, we got Zach Johnson still up front with Haden Higginbotham moving up to second, 1 point behind.
Matt Fiboney falls a spot. Ryan Persinger falls a spot. Jeremy Tebon gains a spot. Micheal Woolf, he gained 2 spots. And look at James Mott. 4 spots.
4 spots for Mr. Mott. Up to 8th, tied with Ryan Taft here with 67 total points.
Well, I tell you, this is the second race of the season. It's already looking pretty tight. So this is a good time, Nate. And thanks for having me up in the booth. And I don't know if I'll be racing. Talladega is not one of my favorites. So we'll see about that next week. And I just want to thank you all. Thank everybody in Moving Chicanes. I want to thank the guys in the booths and Corey and the rest of the guys. This was another banger, man. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
So
yeah.
I guess this is going to be it for me tonight. And thanks a lot, Nate. And we'll see you in the chat room.
Yeah, we'll see you in the chat room. We will see you guys in the stream in 2 weeks at Talladega. We'll have off week next week, and we'll get it going at Talladega once again on Sunday night. Get ready for ARCA night at Talladega. That'll be a fun one. And yeah, be on the lookout for Wednesday night. We have the Circuit Cup Series at Phoenix, so that'll be a good one. And yeah, it's going to be Mr. Nathan Campbell and Mr. Bill Martin in the booth signing out. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.